It's Kenya Rahmaan, author and founder of the Child Support Hustle. Um, water. How's everybody doing this evening? I'm doing fantabulous. Here to talk about one of my top three worst child support agencies in the country, Michigan. It's no secret that it's been on my top three least or top three worst child support agencies in the country since really I started my advocacy. They are pretty terrible. I'm on record as saying if you think that your state has a worse operating child support system in the country, let me know. Send me an email, cshustle, the number one at gmail.com, and I will make a video if they have some egregious, well, they all are pretty egregious, but if they, have done something as egregious as Michigan, Ohio, of course, my home state, I talk about them a lot. And number three, the number three slot, it varies over, over time. Nobody has secured that spot because they're all trash in my book. But Florida has been there at one time, at one point. Illinois, I mean, it just varies. But Michigan and Ohio always have a they always have a spot. So yeah, let me know. I'll make a video, and then that video, I'll point out, give you the stats on why they're garbage, and then you can send that to your officials and to the media, and that way you don't have to, search for all these numbers, and then hopefully that will shine a spotlight on what needs to change in your state, your jurisdiction, and hopefully that can bring about at least um, a spotlight on some things that these officials and the people that are paid by our tax dollars to operate these systems that are supposed to be in the best interest of children and families, as they boast often, then maybe they'll do that. So the this is this month, August, is Child Support Awareness Month. And you're going to see a bunch of flyers and posts and, oh, let's celebrate, and oh, we're so great, and child support is so great, and all of this and that. And they're doing all this recruitment. So if you see, they're asking people, come on down, sign up. We have this event going on, and we have this health fair going on, and we're giving out school supplies. And one state is giving out or teaming up with the food drive and all this kind of, like they just help out so much. But my one question is, if you have to team up with the food drive program in your state, then why aren't you passing through or paying 100% of the child support that you're collecting on behalf of these children? Why aren't you paying that to the families? Then the need for the food drive would decrease. I mean, that just makes sense. And then why don't you use those TANF funds, the temporary assistance for needy families, or is it temporary aid? I think it's assistance. Why don't you pass through 100% of that money, or why don't you use those funds and help the less fortunate and the vulnerable more than what you do? These they get money every year, and then they use such a small amount to to help with low income families. But they're, August, they're all in. So I want to go and I should have had this ready, but if I told you guys the time I have been having trying to go live, trying to just today trying to do this live. I've been up here for over an hour just trying to get my camera working, trying to get everything together. One thing will go down, like they've been messing with my pages on Facebook, like just everything. Because I made that video about West Virginia, that dude in West Virginia. If y'all haven't seen it, go back and watch it. After that, everything has been off. So this just took me forever to come on here about Michigan because I'll be on their head. But give me one sec. And then we're going to get into it. Okay. So in Michigan, I was thinking as I was doing this, getting all this stuff together. Michigan is like, I'm a big sister. I have two little brothers. And so Michigan reminds me of like my brothers, like this, say this girl, this lady that your brother just keeps going back to. You know she's no good, right? So as soon as you get him off of her, like, y'all, she ain't no good for you. Here come your other little brother, and he start liking her. And you like, she no good, like but she just enticed, come on, I got the good, I got this for you, I got that for you. Now he hooked. So you gotta get him off of her. She got the good food stamps or the good whatever, me love you long time. So then you got to get that brother off of her. Then the next one. So this is what Michigan and all these child support agencies, when they put out, like, they can help you. So the AG, she says, this is in this tweet. In Michigan, unpaid child support continues to be a major socioeconomic problem with more than 4.9 billion. That's so much money in support owed to Michigan children. Custodial parents who are owed significant back child support can file a complaint with the AG's office and they give their website. So now, I've been saying this for a couple years now, because these children that, like, in my like my daughter, when they start reforming welfare and child support, these kids are aging out. So now they're trying to get these kids in here, the young parents and their little babies. Let's get them in. So now they're trying to get them to enroll, and that's the difference between the voluntary and the mandatory. They come in and sign these complaints if if they don't have welfare. It's voluntary. So come on in. Let's get you in there. So let's talk about this the celebration month, August. So it was first declared National Child Support Awareness Month back in 1995 by former President Bill Clinton as Proclamation 6814. So, according to the American Presidency Project, Clinton said in part that, quote, millions of children do not receive the financial support they need to lead secure and healthy lives, end quote. He goes on to say that he made the reforms to the child support system, and these reforms, and this is just some of them that he claims this is why he had bipartisan support. So when you look at how they put this bill together, this massive overhaul to welfare reform and child support reform, this was years, decades in the making. This wasn't just a Bill Clinton bill. So he didn't just come into office and then he did this. This was decades in the making. So part of that was the reforms contained the toughest child support enforcement measures in American history. He said that it would dramatically strengthen the government's ability to enforce payment of the child support awards. True. And it would give the states the ability to track deadbeat parents across state lines, suspend driver's license, and make them work off what they owe. So this was in 95. They had not even implemented the child support system. So parents really didn't even owe anything at that point. Parents weren't even, quote unquote, deadbeats at that point. So this is the language that he put into this proclamation in 95. Parents weren't even with the child support orders and being sued like that did not even come into effect yet. So they were setting it all up. He signed a proclamation on August 5th, 1995, and he signed a proclamation and quote, it calls for all citizens of the United States to observe this month with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities, end quote. So everybody's supposed to party down and all that. So I don't know about y'all, but I don't know anybody who is wanting to celebrate the child support system or any other government system at this time. It's real rough out here, but give it to Michigan and all these other child support agencies. They're really trying their hardest to celebrate with, like I said, the food drives and the just everything. So Michigan is certainly not going to miss out on the festivities. Fox 17 reported that Attorney General Dana is Nessel, I don't know how to pronounce it, quote, took to social media on Wednesday explaining the dire need for child support within the state, end quote. The AG says complaints about, as I read, the socioeconomic problem with Michigan children being owed billions in child support is a problem. So first, just like any other U.S. jurisdiction, when the custodial parent applies for public assistance, they must cooperate with child support and assign their rights to any child support that's collected over to their respective states. It's a must. So according to Paula Roberts, federal law requires that states impose a child support cooperation requirement on the responsible individual unless a person can establish a good cause for refusing to cooperate. And I discussed this before. Those good causes are very hard to get approved by the caseworker. So, for instance, if a custodial parent, mainly mothers, are in abusive relationships and they have to, leave the relationship and they're fortunate enough to be able to escape with their lives and leave with their children, if they should have to go and seek public assistance, and I researched this, they have to provide a lot of documentation, police reports, just they have to verify. Sometimes doctors' notes to show that they were actually in an abusive relationship. Then the caseworker has to approve or disapprove the application for a um, good cause, exemption from filing child support. So it's not just you can go in and say, oh, I'm in an abusive relationship. I don't want to file. I fear for my life, my safety. And they just exempt you. No, no, no. And that's why the numbers of exemptions for good cause are so low. So that's another problem. Like there's no protections for anybody in this system. Not for the mothers, not for the children, not for the fathers. It's all, everything is beneficial to the government, to the states. Everything. Every state requires for TANF cooperation for TANF and Medicaid. That's for everywhere. But Michigan takes it even further, takes it to the extreme on what the custodial parent um, what benefits they can receive to help. Let me start over. Michigan takes it to the extreme on what the parent has to cooperate, what they can receive, what they have. Okay, you guys know what I'm saying. I can't get it out. Um, Michigan, they have to, in order to receive TANF, Medicaid, CHIP, food stamps, and child care, they have to cooperate with child support. In other words, in every other jurisdiction, it's only federally mandated TANF and Medicaid. But in Michigan, it's TANF, Medicaid, CHIP, food stamps, and child care. They have to, and all of those before they can, they have to sue before they can get any of those. Damn, that was a mouthful. Sorry. I'm telling y'all, I was over here. I said, you know what? This is not going to beat me. I'm going to do this damn live, hook or by crook. Oh, you know what? I don't have the chat on. Hey guys, I'm sorry I didn't have the chat on. How's everybody doing? So, the AG is complaining about this insanely high debt. You know, about $5 billion. 5 billion. It's ridiculous. And yeah, it's extremely high, and that's because they force many low-income parents into the child support system and charge them amounts that they can't afford to pay. And of course, the result is $1 billion debt, and the debt is fake. It's like pulling a debt out of thin air, because when they set these child support orders, a lot of times they're default orders based on lying ass process servers. Trust me, that's a fact. And when the people that are supposed to be served, the fathers or non-fathers, paternity fraud victims, aren't served, they don't go to court and they impute income. And now they have these fake illegal child support orders that are imputed to income. Even when they go to court, they don't set the child support order based on what somebody can pay. So if you can't pay, they're going to charge you late fees. They're going to charge you interest, which is 9%. I believe I have to check that. I have it here. And then of course the debt is going to keep going up. And what are you? Hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. Hey, Buckeye. Um, I'm gonna be up there this month too. Hopefully it won't be too cold, but I don't even mind the cold. It's been scorching hot here in Texas. I'm talking about, man, I wish it would rain. I wish it would rain so bad. Um, so Michigan Office of Child Support representative says, as many Michigan families, this is from Aaron Frisch, Frisch, and I don't know if it's a he or she, but they say, as many Michigan families continue to feel the impacts of the pandemic through economic instability and inflation, child support can make a difference in paying for groceries, clothing, and health care. Oh, that sounds so nice. That sounds so nice. I got a note here, but I just want to say, when they say things like that, they act like non-custodial parents, paying parents, don't have to deal with the pandemic, economic instability, and inflation. They should have canceled child support payments during all of that, the pandemic, any economic instability, and right now while we're going through inflation. Why? Because they have all of this money that they can use to help to make up for what the $50 or the $100 that they pay to low income families. They can make up that money. But that was a side note. So what I wrote was, but we know that no child support agency actually cares whether these children have groceries, clothing, or health care. If they did, they would pay all of the child support that they collect on behalf of the low income families receiving welfare benefits to these families. It's just, I say it, I repeat this over and over because it just makes sense. Like, you cannot sit and say, we care so much about the kids. Come on, enroll with us so we can collect money on your behalf to keep it. We'll help you. We're going to benefit you. So come and help us find the other parent just so we can keep that money. But we'll put him in jail. We'll take her license. We'll do everything to enforce. We'll fuck their life up for you, but we're going to keep the money. Like so many other states, Michigan makes big money from the children in their state. For instance, for every dollar the state spent in 2021, it received a return of $6.20. It's all profit after that dollar. Some states make double digits. Some states make maybe $2. I think maybe one state makes 2.50, something like that. But it's still profit. They received, excuse me, almost $130 million over the past 5 years in incentives. Michigan reported approximately 4.2 billion in 2021 in total arrears owed, but now they're saying it's 5 billion. That's how fast arrears accumulate. I was in 2021, and now from 4.2 they up to 4.9 billion. However, this is very interesting, and when you guys talk to your representatives and everything like that, and y'all call and write and send letters and everything like that, this is so important because when people talk about, um, especially now after the overturning of Roe, when people talk about how fathers don't pay child support and mothers pay child support too, that's significant as well. When people talk about fathers not paying child support, they always look at that big number, like in Michigan's case, 4.9 billion. But they don't look at the fact that that is arrears and what arrears consists of, instead of looking at the current child support amount that's owed, which in Michigan's case is 1.3 billion. So we're talking about nearly 3 billion that's going to be made up of late fees, interest, and other charges, whatever they want to charge. That's not accurate. What they're putting out is not an accurate count. And when they say dads don't pay child support anyway, I know y'all seeing that a lot. If of course if you see that child support is owed in the amount of 5 billion, when actually it's 1.3 billion, and then when you say 5 billion, that 3 billion is really based on a fake ass debt. It's a different perspective. So that's money that can be spent on the children who need it and deserve it the most, especially during COVID. And considering, let's be real here, Flint still doesn't have clean drinking water. And that's been years. I mean, are we up on maybe a decade now? But they care about the kids. They want you to come and put your trust into them to collect on their on oh let me close this out. They want you to come and put your trust into them, and they have kids, children, and families that don't even have clean drinking water. I'll get to the comments when I get finished because I was getting there and then I won't even finish what I got to say. If you've been here, you know how I get. I'll be talking about some other stuff, so I got to get through. I'm trying to so y'all can see the big lie. So I want y'all to see that. So every year, states are given a TANF grant from the federal government. They do not have to spend all of the money in that year, nor do they have to spend the money on families enrolled in the TANF program. The Center of Budget and Policy Priorities shared that in 2020, Michigan spent about 1.3 billion in federal and state funds under the TANF program. Excuse me. Excuse me. However, the state only spent 130 million on basic assistance. So if you're in Michigan and you're a parent with one child, you get a grant of $403 monthly. So they only spent 130 million. That's out of 1.3 billion. So they're nearly their incentive money is what they spent on basic assistance. They only spent 4 million in tax credits. In 2001, the state spent 141 million on work activities for parents, and in 2020, they had decreased to spending only 2 million. Likewise, oh, I think that's in work activities. They spent three. Wait, no. I'm sorry, I didn't put what this was, so I have to skip that. Lastly, Michigan had accumulated almost 95 million in unspent TANF block grants. So again, they can sit on that money. They can spend it however they want. If they want to fix the roof in wherever. But if the kids need something in the school, like, you're supposed to spend that money to help the kids, the low income, so why would you sit and want people to come in and you can't even collect what you already have on the books of the fake debt, is my point. Just like this, Fox 17 is reporting the Michigan Child Support Agency is encouraging custodial parents to file a complaint with the AG's office if they believe they are owed substantial amounts of child support. So this is what I was saying. My question to those parents that are thinking of going to fill out a complaint is, if they are complaining that they can't collect on nearly 5 billion for parents already enrolled in child support, why would you think to go to them and expect them to recover child support on your behalf? The answer is they don't care if they do or if they don't collect on your behalf. They care that you open a case with them so that they can continue to meet and or exceed the necessary performance measures to receive the incentive money that the feds pay them for opening and maintaining a certain number of child support cases per year. That's the hustle. That's how they get it. They have to meet or exceed a certain criteria to get that money. And don't forget, if you have to sign up because you receive welfare, that's more money for the state. So if you can co-parent with the other parent and just leave the state out of it, that is your best bet. They are the middleman. The state is the middleman to the middleman, who is the feds. So I just want to say, shame on you, Michigan, for pretending that you care about children and parents. Parents don't fall for the bullshit. Like I said earlier, they have billions and billions. They claim they are short billions, but they have billions. And Flint's children, parents, citizens are still without clean drinking water. That's my video. I finally got to make it. I'm telling you, it was a struggle. So I hope that was informative. Like I said, if you think you have the worst child support system in your state, send me an email, cshustle, the number one, at gmail.com. Tell me why you think it is, and I will make a video. Because one thing I like to do, and I think is very important, because there's no accountability, is to get the information on the child support agencies, the caseworkers, and put it out there, put them on blast, and hopefully the information that is reported or exposed, however you want to put it, can reach the right person and they can make them be accountable, because parents need to be treated with respect, for one, and we have rights. Parents need to be treated with the rights that they deserve, that you all deserve. Whether you decide to go to the child support system or not. And all this, what they're saying, oh, we're for the family, and the new motto and stuff like that, like we're family oriented. They should have been that in the first place. So, but I appreciate everybody, and I'm sorry I didn't have the chat on and all that good stuff, but I'm beat with this. So I'm gonna try to figure out why they are. Well, I know why. I'm just trying to figure out how I can work around all these little obstacles that they are giving me. And if you want to check out my articles and things like that, you can go to my website, thechildsupporthustle.com. Let me see. I don't whatever wherever you're watching me. I'm new to this streaming app, so if I have any mistakes or anything like that, I'm gonna go back and check it. So just work with me because I'm still trying to figure it all out. What else? What else? Thank y'all for supporting me and rocking with me. I appreciate it, and rocking with each other because I know a lot of people, we network here and everything like that and network there. So that's all good. And that's about it. If you want to donate to the cause, I'm writing a new book, talking about been talking about it. So you'll see me posting some different stuff, and it's about just in case you want to know, it's about we always hear that they say welfare destroyed the black family, and I strongly disagree with that on so many levels. So I've been researching, writing, and that's what my new book is about. And so I'm like kind of incorporating. I'm not talking about what I'm researching now, but I am going to start incorporating what I'm finding out in my research into my channel. But shit, there's so much stuff going on with child support. Like I could never stop talking about child support because it never stops. Like this is just something that keeps on going and going. And so, but I'll see. But you want to support a writer, an author, a journalist, you can always what YouTube has the Cash App, Facebook has these coins. I'm not familiar, but it's like coins on there. You can send me gifts that way. You can send me a Cash App dollar. So I put it in the thing. But yeah, you can support me like that. I appreciate everything, and I appreciate everything that you guys rocking with me. It really means a lot. So it took me a while to get my voice and come out here and do it. Come on social media and talk out loud. But now that I'm talking, baby, I am for it. I'm all for it. So let me look at the comments real quick before I go. What's up, Texas? Oh, Michigan is the worst. But I love Michigan, though. Don't get me wrong. I love the Michigan people. Shout out to Carnell. Um, I used to stomp in Michigan and Detroit. What is that? Hola. Yeah, you better come back and catch me on the replay. Yeah, them friend of the courts. I watched a video. I don't remember who it was, but it was a lady, and she said, "Friend of the court, no, friend of the state, enemy of the family, friend of the." I forget what it was, but it was something. The friend of the court, enemy of the family, or something to that effect. And that's she sure right. Oh shoot, I'll call you back. I'm live. Okay, sorry about that, guys. It sure is. You getting any of those funds? What you mean the website doesn't provide any help? What you mean, Richie? Says all cases are supposed. Well, yeah, like I mean, they violate. Who's that? David. They violate every constant. Like they violate. If we went through everything that the child support system violates, I mean, we would just be here and be here and be here. The problem is the system was designed, the way the system is designed is not how it's executed. Like one of the biggest things that is ignored when these jurisdictions and states and the jurisdictions and agencies and judges and what they ignore, which is the centerpiece of the child support system, is the word willfully. And when they suspend licenses and put negative reports on credit, report that to the credit agencies, and hold people in contempt without doing a thorough investigation to look at income versus the debt, the fake debt. But when we look at that, when they skip and ignore that word willfully, they violate the whole system right there. They violate everything that that system is supposed to stand for, which is if a parent has the means to take care of their child based on this child support order, which is a judgment, a civil lawsuit has been filed and you are ordered to pay a certain amount. If you cannot pay that amount because you can't afford it, then you're not willfully failing to pay. You're not willfully violating that court order. So you shouldn't be punished in any way. So anything after that is a violation. So that's what I'm saying. Like throw the whole, because if you think about it over the course of 20, what was 1995, 96, when they really start, when Clinton, with the deadbeat and the debt, and there wasn't no debt yet. You talking about from back then to now? I mean, if I think that if people sued the United States for violating their rights based on this child support system, the United States would be bankrupt. Just based on that alone, for not will for suspending like everything, all the punishments, from not looking to see how much somebody had based to say that they could afford to pay and didn't pay versus they had all this money, just based on that, and them taking license, everything that they do, they would be bankrupt. So I gotta go. I have an appointment. I gotta get up out of here. But thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget, let me know what's the worst thing, why you think your state is the worst, so we can put them on blast. You can take the video, send it, so we can hopefully get them to stop violating people's rights while you guys are fighting. I'm retired from fighting, but I'm always gonna be in the background. Y'all already know. So y'all have a great rest of your weekend. I'm gonna try my best to have a great one rest of my weekend. And don't forget, subscribe, like, if you whatever. Hopefully they won't shut my Facebook page down or anything else. But if they do, the childsupporthustle.com, I'm gonna see if I can start doing videos over there. So, but I don't know. We'll see. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good night. Fight the power.